Realme has been launching quite a lot of phones, which is great, and the latest one from the company, the Realme 3, looks to increase its hold on the budget smartphone segment in India. But can it do that, and is it any better than the competition? Let's take a look. Hey guys, I'm Akshay from Beebom.com, and this is the Realme 3, the latest smartphone from the company. Now I've been using this phone for a bit and I have some thoughts about it, so these here are my first impressions of the Realme 3. But before I get started, I'd ask you to hit the bell icon to get notified every time we post an awesome new video. Now that you've done that, let's get started. When you open the box of the Realme 3, you'll find the usual things. There's the phone itself, obviously, and there's the 10-watt fast charger, a micro USB cable, and a clear case. I really appreciate the fact that Realme gives a clear case with the phone so it won't get scratched up. Anyway, let's check out the phone now. Starting off with the design, the Realme 3 is a phone that looks quite good, be it from the back or the front. The back here has a gradient finish which looks good and is not as flashy as some other phones, and I appreciate that personally. There's also the fingerprint scanner and the dual rear camera setup. Now, I'm not sure why Realme did this, but this ring around the entire camera module kinda doesn't look that good to me, but that's just my personal opinion. Anyway, moving to the front, the Realme 3 has a big immersive display with a teardrop notch up top, and yes, it's still my favorite notch implementation. Chin on the bottom is fine, I guess, but honestly, it's bigger than the chin on the Realme U1, and I don't understand exactly why that is. Yeah, I would have liked a smaller chin, but whatever. Apart from that, the Realme 3 comes with all the usual stuff. This is all the buttons, the triple SIM slot, so you can use 2 SIMs and a micro SD card, the headphone jack, yeah, that's still here, and I appreciate it. Plus, there's the micro USB port. I really wish Realme had used the USB-C port here, especially since other competitors like the Redmi Note 7 are coming with USB-C in this price range. Anyway, the display here is a 6.2-inch LCD panel and it looks good. The colors are good, the display has decent viewing angles, and overall I don't really have any complaints with it. Well, except for the fact that it's a 720p display, even though the Realme U1 has a Full HD display, and that's just weird to me. All things considered, the display here is fine. I mean, it's not the best in class, but it's nothing I'd complain about, to be honest. In terms of cameras, the Realme 3 packs in a dual 13 plus 2 megapixel camera on the back, with the secondary camera being a depth sensor. Now, that's the same setup that we saw in the Realme U1, but that's okay. The Realme U1 had decent cameras, so it's fine that the Realme 3 has the same setup. We took some pictures from the Realme 3 and they look decent enough. There's not a lot to talk about here, but the pictures look average and okay. However, if we compare the images from the Realme 3 to the Realme U1, well, for some reason, the Realme 3's pictures just look below average when compared to the Realme U1, and that's kind of weird. On the front, the Realme 3 comes with a 13 megapixel selfie camera that also works for face unlock, and it works pretty fast, by the way. However, what's weird here is that the U1 had a 25 megapixel selfie camera, and I'm not sure why Realme used a 13 megapixel camera on the Realme 3. So yeah, when it comes to taking selfies, this camera is again only average. I mean, take a look at these selfies we took from the Realme 3. While they look okay, if we compare selfies from the Realme 3 and the Realme U1, it's obvious that the U1 is just better. In terms of videos, the Realme 3 comes with support for shooting 1080p videos, which is weird since the Helio P70 does support 4K video recording. Anyway, here's a video sample from the phone and it's only okay-ish. There's no EIS here, so yeah, the videos aren't very stable, but I'll be testing it out thoroughly over the next few days. So yeah, the cameras on the Realme 3 are underwhelming, but like I said, Realme could fix this with an OTA. Anyway, I'll be using these cameras extensively over the next few days and we'll see how they hold up in the full review. Coming to the performance of this phone, the Realme 3 packs in the same Helio P70 as the Realme U1, and that's quite alright. I mean, the Helio P70's performance is equivalent to the Snapdragon 660 for the most part, and it shows. The phone comes with ColorOS based on Android Pie, and it's a heavy skin for sure. I mean, I'm not really a fan of ColorOS, but it does have a lot of cool features, so I'll give it a pass. Anyway, even with the skin as heavy as ColorOS, in usual day-to-day usage, the phone performs remarkably well. Apps load up quickly, switching between apps is snappy, and the phone doesn't seem to lag at all when being used for usual day-to-day tasks, including web browsing. In terms of gaming too, the phone holds up fine. I tried playing PUBG Mobile on it, and everything here is good. The game runs on medium settings by default and it runs fine. There are minor frame drops sometimes, but it's playable for sure. However, switching graphics to low makes the game perform a lot better, and I generally recommend playing at that setting. While all that is great, if you're wondering how the P70 compares to processors like the 660 and the 636, here are some benchmark lists. So as you can see, when compared to the Snapdragon 636, the Helio P70 is definitely better. However, when compared to the Snapdragon 660, the P70 scores slightly better in the single core tests and slightly lower in the multi-core tests. Still though, it's obvious that the P70 is not a bad processor by any means. So yeah, performance wise the Realme 3 holds up pretty well and I have no complaints with it. But what about the battery? Well, the Realme 3 comes with a considerably big 4230 mAh battery, which is quite a big jump from the 3500 mAh seen in the Realme U1. Well, I've not used the Realme 3 extensively enough to come to a conclusion about the battery life here. On normal uses, the phone does last quite long, and it should easily last well over a day. So to conclude, the Realme 3 is definitely a decent phone with an okayish display, a big battery and a nice design. But the cameras on the phone are below average and it doesn't bring anything extra to the table in terms of performance when compared to the Realme U1. Anyway, while we are not aware of the pricing at the time of shooting this video, if it's launched at around 10,000, it should be a decent phone. So I'm not entirely sure what Realme is going for here. What I do know is this: Realme's lineup has had these ups and downs a lot. I mean, the Realme 1 was good, the Realme 2 was disappointing, the Realme 2 Pro was good, so maybe we can expect a better Realme 3 Pro. Only time will tell. Well, that was our first impression of the Realme 3, and yeah, the phone brings some improvements over the Realme U1, but not a lot. Anyway, we are working on the full review of the Realme 3, so let us know if you have any specific questions in the comments down below. Also, give this video a like and share it with your friends. Lastly, subscribe to our channel for more amazing tech videos. That's me signing off. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.